It was April 2017, when a small plane was flying over the Indian Ocean. The pilot, sitting in the cockpit, suddenly noticed something very strange below. There was an island in the middle of the ocean that looked like a gigantic cube. The pilot quickly grabbed his camera and snapped a few photos before moving on. At first glance, the photos didn't seem like anything special. It just looked like a regular old island. But when he looked closer, he realized this wasn't any ordinary piece of land. The island appeared to be a perfect cube. Not only that, but each side of the island was exactly equal, making it a perfect cube. The pilot immediately contacted the authorities and told them what he had seen. They, however, didn't believe him and assumed that he was just seeing things. After all, how could there be a cube-shaped island in the middle of the ocean? But the pilot was adamant that he had seen something strange. So a few days later, an expedition was sent out to the area where he had seen the island. They searched for miles and miles, but they couldn't find anything. They even brought in a helicopter, but the vastness of the ocean meant that their search area was limited, and so the expedition was ultimately fruitless. But just because they couldn't find anything didn't mean that the island didn't exist. So the pilot decided to take matters into his own hands. He went back to the area by himself and began searching. And to his surprise, he actually found the island again. He took more pictures, but still nothing really out of the ordinary. But then he checked his GPS and realized that he was standing on the exact spot where he had seen the island 3 weeks prior. He then checked his photos from the previous day and realized that the same thing had happened. Every time he visited the island, it was exactly 3 weeks after the last time. He then did some more research and realized that 3 weeks is exactly 33 days. But why would an island appear every 33 days? Why was it always a perfect cube? Was it a mirage? But if it was, why did it appear in almost the exact same place every time? To get some answers, the pilot contacted a geologist who agreed to help. The geologist collected some rocks from the island and sent them off to be analyzed. But the results came back inconclusive. The rocks were just normal. Now, they hadn't come from anywhere special, and they weren't a recent formation either. So what was going on here? The geologist then did something else. He looked at weather patterns in the area and noticed something weird. For some reason, the weather around the island was perfectly stable. There were no storms, no rain, no wind. It was almost as if the weather around the island was being kept perfectly still. How was this possible? The only thing that made sense was that the island was somehow artificially keeping itself hidden. But how some theorized that the island was actually a man-made structure that was normally submerged. But every 33 days, the tech that was cloaking it would malfunction, allowing it to be seen for a few hours before being hidden once again. But what kind of structure could be hidden underwater and why? Some believe that it could be a military base. After all, we know that many countries have secret military bases hidden all over the world. Maybe this one was just hidden underwater. But if that was the case, why would they hide it in such a remote part of the ocean? Others believe that it could be something extraterrestrial, maybe a crashed UFO that was being hidden by a dome. This would explain why the weather was so stable, because the craft was using its own tech to keep itself hidden. But again, why would aliens do this? And finally, some believe that it could be a natural phenomenon that we just don't understand yet. Maybe it has something to do with the Earth's magnetic field. Or maybe it's just a trick of the light. Whatever the case may be, the truth is that we simply don't know what's going on here. All we know is that this strange cube-shaped island continues to appear every 33 days, and it's been doing so for centuries. Some say that this phenomenon has been witnessed as far back as the 1600s. So what do you think? What's going on here? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching.